I was 10, by the way, when he woke me up one midnight and said that whatever he does to me, that he doesn't want to hear from anybody, and if he does, he was going to kill me. My name is Charles Eyo. I'm a law graduate. I'm a singer. I'm also a poet. And what happened to me, I don't pray it happens to anybody, but it just happened to me. And I survived it. It was a horrible experience. Some years back, my parents, got divorced, and I watched that happen. And when it happened, my dad had no other choice but to take us into custody. And while he did that, we had to stay with him, and because of his busy schedule, because he's actually a civil engineer and travels all around. So my uncle suggested that we should move in and stay with him. And we did. Started staying with him, stayed with him for a while. Anytime my dad is not around, like maybe if he travels for a long distance journey, so we stayed there. And whenever he's having any function or that, we just go there to stay, because where he was staying to where we stayed, it wasn't really that far. So it got to a stage whereby my dad couldn't really, cope with us, coming and going. So he told my uncle, and my uncle said we should just permanently move in. So we had to move in and started staying there. While we were staying there, I had to share a room with his son, who was way, way older than me. And my sister had to share a room with his daughter too. So we were just staying there, hoping everything would get better. But things didn't really get better, because I was 10, by the way, when he woke me up one midnight and said that whatever he does to me, that he doesn't want to hear from anybody, and if he does, he was going to kill me. At first I was shocked, like as a 10-year-old, what is this guy saying? But when he actually, started sexually molesting me, it was something I couldn't just tell anyone, because everyone who I talked to about it wasn't even ready to listen to me or believe what I was saying, because I was just too young for anybody to hear me out and tell me, okay, let's give this boy a chance. And even when I told my dad at the time, he didn't say much about it. Rather, he didn't even say what I wanted to hear. He didn't say what I wanted to hear. So it continued like that for a whole year. So after a whole year, things turned around. My dad had to come pick us and brought us somewhere around, Yaba, which was where I came to. And when I came here, I mixed around with friends, I kind of shared my experience with them. And the only thing that was able to heal me, the only real thing that was able to heal me was music. Because I'm someone that loves music very much, and I just kind of put those experiences I had into words. Because I'm actually a poet, so from just those words, from just being a poet, I channeled them into music. And it got to a point whereby I was always angry at myself, because I didn't know how to really tell the real fact of life. I didn't know how to just express it to other people, like, this is what I went through. So, and I was always looking for avenues, that I could share this experience, with people who don't really, who have really gone through what I've gone through, both male and female. And also tell them that if I could, really come out of it, you guys can. So I was just there listening to so many songs as of the time. And one of the songs I was listening to was Lean on Me by John Bolton. It was a song that, I would always play it, in the middle of the night on my AirPod, just play it and sometimes sleep off. And I wake up in the morning and it's still playing. I just kept on, having hope in myself that I was going to get out of this one day, and here I am today. The person in quotes, happened to be a cousin of mine, and I last saw him in 2020. So since then, I haven't. That was around May, I think May. Yeah, that's the last time I saw him. So since then, I've not set my eyes on him again. But anytime I see him, that impression of what he did comes to my mind. Though we are not really best of friends. We don't really talk. I just greet him based on the fact he's an elderly person, and it ends there. But the last time I officially saw him was in 2020, and since then I've not set my eyes on him again. Really, I didn't seek help from anyone or anything. I just live with it like that. I just live with it, because as of the time, I couldn't afford, to go seek help from a counselor or two, and I couldn't talk to my parents because they were not in good terms with each other. Because I felt that if I had spoken to my parents, or if my parents were, still together, stuff like that wouldn't have happened in the first place. So I didn't seek help. Yeah, as of when it happened, quite to be frank with you guys, like I was, in quotes, exposed to pornography at a very early stage, because that alone, it wasn't just about that, because he also showed me videos of how, these things were being done online, and that was my first ever encounter with that kind of thing, because growing up with my parents, I was just restricted to TV, cartoons and the rest, but I saw something firsthand, like something I've never seen before. I may have heard about it, like stuff like that happened, but I've never seen it before. But he showed me everything like firsthand, and when he did it, like I just continued to graduate from what he showed me, to the extent that I had like what was playing inside my head was everything that has to do with sex, totally. So, but I just had it in my mind that, I was going to be fine. So by the time I left there and I moved down with my dad, he tried coming to visit at a time, like twice. But as of the time he started coming to visit, I think he started coming to visit like after 2 years or so. During that space of 2 years, I'd mixed around with people, I've, naturalized with my environment, I'd talked to people, I was active in different areas. So the thought didn't really come. But when I saw him after 2 years, I started having mental breakdown, affected me academically, it got to a stage whereby I wasn't even attracted to the opposite sex itself. Neither I wasn't attracted to my fellow guy itself. Like, I just wanted to just be on my own, because I've gone through a very ugly experience, and there was no how, I was going to be attracted to someone. Because for me to be attracted to someone, it means I must have feelings for someone. But, my feelings were just dead. They were just dead. My word for people, who are going through this kind of ordeal which I have gone through is this, try as much as possible to, have someone around that you could trust, someone you could talk to at any point in time, and someone that believes in you. Whenever situations like this happen, run to that person, tell the person, also be close to one part of your parent, if it's not your dad or your mom, but just be close to someone, and at any point in time, speak up, let people hear you, because it happened to me, and everyone took it for granted. But it could happen to someone also, or it could be happening to someone right now, or it has happened to someone a while ago. All we need is for us to speak up, in loud voices, Let's champion this. Let's make people who are victims of this get out of this. Let our voice be heard out there. Let people who do this, let them be prosecuted for this. Let them go to jail for this, for just molesting children, for just molesting adolescents, for just molesting teenagers. Let them go in for it. And whoever has gone through this, I advise the person to, seek counseling, go for strong counseling sessions, be prayerful and do things that you love and be around people who motivate you, who encourage you. For those of you who have gone through this and who are still going through this, don't judge yourself. It's not your fault. I've been a victim of it and I got out of it. Channeling all my energy and channeling all what happened to me into what I love. You too can do the same. I'm Charles Eyo. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor.